What would happen if we introduced the main difference between American and European sports into America's most exciting sports league? In this series, we are going to introduce promotion and relegation. However, after our first year, we do have to implement a new rule due to Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina earned promotion by going 5-7 because of their amazing conference record. Because of that, we have now implemented a new rule where you can only go up if you win a bowl game. This means that the third worst team, if only 2 teams win their bowl games, they will not get relegated. But without further ado, let's go over the divisions and how they've changed. Here in the SEC, Coastal Carolina, South Alabama, and Texas State have made their way in. However, LSU, Vanderbilt, and South Carolina have been relegated down to the Sun Belt. In the ACC, East Carolina, Tulane, and UAB have been promoted, and Duke, Florida State, and Georgia Tech have been relegated to the CUSA. In the Big 12, Cincinnati and UCF, now members of the actual Big 12, earned their promotion along with Louisville. And going down to the American, we have BYU, West Virginia, and Baylor. In the Big 10, Ball State, Toledo, and Northern Illinois earned their promotion. And down to the MAC, we have Purdue, Indiana, and Northwestern. And finally, in the Pac-12, San Diego State does finally make it to the Pac-12, along with Boise State and UNLV. And down to the Mountain West, we have Cal, Colorado, and Stanford. After our first year, our current conference rankings are as so. The SEC is number 1 with an 8.2 average rating. Pac-12 is number 2 with a 12.3. Big 12 is number 3 with 17. Big 10 at 17.7, so right behind the Big 12. And ACC is at 25.3, with the American a whopping 56. So there is a very clear, distinct Power 5 still intact with the promotion and relegation system in place. Now with all that out of the way, let's sim to mid-season and see how these teams are looking. Now here we are at the midpoint of the season. Looks like we're doing actually pretty good, but we aren't the ones that matter. In the SEC, we saw Georgia's great, Bama's great, Auburn, yeah. Okay, who's going down? Coastal, South Alabama, and Texas State. So the 3 teams that got promoted are looking like the 3 that are going to go back down. But who's coming up from the Sun Belt? South Carolina, as I said, they're ranked LSU in normal Louisiana. Oh, but normal Louisiana needs to get that win-loss total up if they want a chance. Vanderbilt also looking like they could, though, at 4-2. Louisiana has only played 1 conference game, and they need to be above 500 to have even a shot at it. So, ACC. North Carolina is leading the way, 6-0, number 7 overall. Tulane, fresh off of promotion, is 2nd. East Carolina is also doing pretty well, 4-2. UAB is in the bottom 3, but not by much. They've played 1 more game than the 3 teams ahead of them. So Pitt, NC State, Maryland, UAB, Boston College, and Virginia look like more lost causes, but UAB may stay up after 1 year. Now, who is looking like they're going to come back up from the CUSA? Rice, Duke, and Marshall. So Georgia Tech and Florida State looking like they're going to stay down, but Georgia Tech is not looking terrible. They're at 4-1, but keep in mind, whoever wins has to win their bowl game if they want to go up. No, dang it. How are we 0-6? We're an 86 overall team. SMU, you gotta get your stuff together. Doesn't look like we're getting promoted this year. Even we're only 0-2 in the conference. Like, realistically, we could work our way back up. But Memphis, USF, and West Virginia. So West Virginia and Baylor in promotion back. BYU and Baylor are also right behind them too. So the 3 teams that got relegated are all right on the edge of promotion. And then in the Big 12, I don't want to see that. Get that out of my face. Louisville, UCF, and Cincinnati. So the exact 3 that got promoted are now looking like they're going to go down. But there are 3 teams who haven't even played a single conference game yet, so this is one of the earlier ones to take with a grain of salt. In the Big 10, who's looking like they're going down? Ball State. I saw that we actually beat them in the sim. We played them on our schedule, so we beat Ball State. So we're one of those 5. Illinois and Wisconsin. So Northern Illinois and Toledo are right on that cusp as well, though. Like, they've only played 3 games, and they played 1 more game than Wisconsin, so Ohio, Buffalo, and Kent State looking like they're going to be the 3 right now. Northwestern, Purdue, and Indiana are kind of middling in the conference. Actually, Northwestern is 3-1, so they've done a lot of conference games. It's just they have undefeated records because they played far less games. In the Pac-12, who is looking to go down? UNLV and San Diego State, and then Arizona. Those 3 honestly make sense. It makes sense. And Boise doing pretty well surviving, so that makes sense for that conference. Who's looking to come up? Air Force is 5-0, Cal is 4-2, and Colorado State. Colorado itself is not doing too hot, and neither is Stanford. Oh wow, this has majorly changed from when we looked at it preseason. The Big 12 is now in first by 6 places on average over the Pac-12, then the Big 10, and then the SEC has fallen from first to fourth. ACC is still there, average of 27 rating, which is 21 points ahead of the American. So again, that Power 5, G5 separation is still very, very much intact. We are going to go ahead and sim to the end or to conference championship week and see what it's looking like is going to happen. What has happened in the conferences? Ohio State, again, is going to the Big Ten championship, which means that we beat that team. Wait, Ohio State Ohio State lost that game, but still gets to go to the championship because of tiebreaker reasons. That's kind of funny. In the SEC, Georgia at 12-0, Ole Miss at 9-3, Bama at 10-2. Cool, we don't care. The same 3 that just got promoted, actually in reverse order too. Last year it was South Alabama, Coastal, Texas State, and now it just got flipped. So South Carolina, Old Dominion, and LSU, 2 of those teams want to reclaim their place in the SEC, and one team, a 2-star Prestige, wants to try and make their way into the SEC. Who looks like they're going up from the American? Baylor, BYU, and Temple are the 3 teams, so completely different than midseason. I guess we saw Baylor and BYU there knocking on the door, but sadly, West Virginia falls back, and I don't even want to talk about that one. And now, going down from the Big 12, who is it looking like? UCF, Cincinnati, and Iowa State. Louisville gets a 1-game differential on Iowa State. Did they play each other? They did, and Louisville won that game, and that was a deciding game to send Iowa State down, potentially. Based on waiting on bowl results for Baylor, BYU, and Temple. All 3 of them have to win their bowl game for Iowa State to go down. Who are the unlucky saps in the Big 10? Who looks like they're going down? Is Ball State, Northern Illinois, and Toledo. So the 3 that just got promoted couldn't handle the physicality of the Big 10 and potentially could be going back down immediately. And from the MAC, Ohio, Northwestern, and the Miami, Ohio Redhawks are the 3 that have the chance to earn their promotion to the Big 10. Looking at the ACC, we know North Carolina did really good, but who did really bad? Oh, Virginia goes 0-12, BC, but Clemson could get relegated here. They're the lowest odds, but they could still get relegated. And now, the CUSA, Rice, Florida Atlantic, and Florida State is going to make an attempt to make their way back in. Duke and Georgia Tech both have decent seasons, but not good enough to get them back. And finally, for the Pac-12, who looks like they're going down? San Diego State saves themselves. Boise State did a lot worse once they started conference play, but San Diego State manages to save their spot. Washington State, UNLV, and Arizona are the 3 that look like they may go down. And now coming up from the Mountain West, Cal, Air Force, and Colorado State. Colorado and Stanford for sure are going to be staying down in the Mountain West for another year. I think this year we didn't have a single team have a losing record and still finish in the top 3 in the promotion leagues, so that's very nice to see and makes things a lot less of a headache for me. If we want to sit through and watch every single one of these bowl games, it's going to take way too long. So what we're going to do is we're going to advance to the end of bowl season, and we're going to go and look at the bowl results and see what happened with these teams that are trying to earn promotion. I did not anticipate something like this happening. Temple has to play us as a chance to earn their promotion. We are going to go in and we are going to watch this game, at least somewhat in passing. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to skip ahead to the end of the game. We have the ball and we drive downfield for a touchdown on our first drive, but Temple, it's a very defensive game, it feels like. 7-3. I guess it's Army, it makes sense for it to be defensive. Second half already, and it's still 7-3 going into the fourth quarter. Is Temple going... Temple takes the lead, 7-10. They take the lead. Temple takes the lead, but we're driving downfield, and we score in the final minute to deny Temple their promotion chance. Temple is not going up. So we already know for sure that Temple is not going up and Iowa State is safe. But what happened? Georgia apparently wins the national championship. What happened in these other bowl games? Florida State does earn promotion. Miami and Air Force had a promotion fight because both of them had the chance to go up, and Miami does win the promotion fight over Air Force. Colorado State just barely misses out in the Barstool Bowl to Central Michigan, losing by a field goal. Cal does earn their promotion back into the Pac-12. Rice is denied promotion, but South Carolina does earn their promotion. Florida Atlantic wins by 1 point over Wyoming in order to earn their way into the ACC. That means that FAU and Florida State both will be promoted. Boston College and UVA will be relegated. Clemson earns safety just barely. Ohio does earn their promotion to the Big Ten by beating Georgia Tech. LSU earns their promotion by a single point with a win over UTEP. BYU does beat App State and dooms UCF back down to the American. Old Dominion blows out NC State, securing their spot. So all three teams that just got promoted to the SEC last year will now be going back down to the Sun Belt. Baylor gets the brakes beat off of them by Oregon to deny them a promotion chance, and also securing Cincinnati's safety in the Big 12. And Northwestern loses their bowl to Colorado, preventing their promotion and saving Toledo in the Big 10 for another year. And so to recap, after season 2, in the Sun Belt, South Carolina, Old Dominion, and LSU all won their bowl games, dooming the three teams that just got promoted last season to all be relegated. In the ACC and CUSA, FAU and Florida State have earned promotion. Boston College and UVA are going down. Rice lost their bowl game, saving Clemson. In the Big 12 and the American, Baylor and Temple lost their bowl games, so Iowa State and Cincy are safe, but BYU is going to take UCF's spot. In the Big 10 and the MAC, Ohio and Miami won their bowl games, however Northwestern lost. So Toledo is safe, but NIU and Ball State are going down. And finally, in the Pac-12, Cal is the only team that won their bowl game, so Arizona is the only team going to get relegated. And I think that is going to do it for this season. So, thank y'all so much for watching. If you're enjoying this so far, leave a like and subscribe so that you can keep watching every new season that comes out. It's a season and episode. It's fairly easy to consume, I feel like, so please consider subscribing and liking. And yeah, thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.